Hey, hello there folks, me RJ from RJPTV, and it's time yet again for Brain against Byul, two of the best players in the world who have time and time entertained me and you and a lot of other players and watchers and viewers over the past few years, and we're here to watch them go at it again. These two players meet very often, and pretty much every single time that they meet, the games that they play are nothing short of pure bliss and high-tier, high-level entertainment. We have Brain here on the name DJWLF, whatever else there is in that name. He's here on the green Terran, and right below him is Byul on the name APAD. Both these players have played professionally for a very short amount of time. They lost interest pretty much immediately because they loved fastest map a whole lot more. And can you blame them? Fastest map sure is a lot of fun. So what are they gonna do? We have Brain going for a barracks into a supply depot here at the top. Actually, I think he timed them to be pretty much at the exact same time here. Never mind. He went for the barracks and the supply depot. The usual stuff. Byul is going to go for a double gateway into maybe a nexus, maybe a triple gateway. Not too sure. It's too early to say because Byul sometimes does like to go for very aggressive early game build orders where he does not go for that second nexus. Whereas most players, they do like to go for that second nexus. And yeah, look at this. I'm glad I didn't call it too early. He's going to go for a very early oriented build order. He wants to start punching Brain in the face as soon as he can. His fists are itching to start punching. You have a double barrack configuration there from Brain. Might go for a second command center or might not. Not too sure, to be honest. Did not yet start his second supply depot, but there it is. We're gonna have to watch the minerals here because the minerals are pretty high most of the time. That implies a second command center, and you know what? A second command center is actually pretty weak against this build order from Byul. Byul did go for the double zealot before he started adding dragoons, so he's not really at risk of getting attacked by anything really. Though we do see the marine and SCV there from Brain going over the bottom side, going to try to do some backstabbing damage there onto those probes. He might get 1 or 2 kills, maybe none at all. Depends on how well Byul deals with this marine aggression that's coming in right now over the bottom side. Goes in, bam, bam, boom, bam, bam. He's focused on the Zealots now. He's responding by pulling his probes. This is already a lot of economic damage. That's 2 kills there on that marine. But the disruption of having to pull the probes off the minerals might have already been too much for... Actually, that's 3 Marines against 2 Zealots. That's never a position you want to be in, and Dragoons are already on the way. 2 more Zealots are in the front there of Byul's base. Honestly, this kind of looks... I want to say this kind of looks bad for Brain. This kind of looks bad. He's spending a lot of time running in circles, and he's not building anything that he really needs. He needs a bunker. He needs maybe another barracks. More... Like, he's managed to keep the Marines alive, but the Zealots are still pretty healthy. Yeah, still pretty healthy. So now it's 4 Zealots against about, I'd say, 7 Marines. Now make it 9. These Zealots can still win this fight. Marines get stuck. They have to get through. That's a very narrow choke point, and they do, but a lot of them do go down. So now we have a pretty strong position for Byul here. We do have a firebat there. But the Dragoons do not care about the firebat. We got a factory on the way. This is starting to look very dangerous. We got marine range on the way, not stim. If you went for stim, he would probably be easily... I want to say this is pretty much a GG at this point. This is over. Brain completely miscalculated, going for a very greedy double barracks build order. And Byul went for a double gateway, double gas, fast Dragoon build order. He first went for 6 Zealots. Then the Dragoons were coming out. Dragoons arrived on the scene, and they're burning massive amounts of pain. And more Dragoons are on the way. Factory is almost finished up there. He's going to try to... He's trying to target down the Marines, but the Dragoons do half damage against Marines, so it takes a little while to take them down, because the medic is there healing them up while they are taking damage. When I was the second medic, but the Marines here are not going to be enough to fight back against those Dragoons because more Dragoons are on the way. Still love doing that, warping in there for Byul. He's got 1 more gateway on the way. He's down 4 Marines, not 4 Dragoons, excuse me, but also 4 Marines. He's trying to kill them, but the medic keeps healing them up. One of them gets sniped down. He's target firing them individually. And yeah, this is over. This is very, very over. Byul just managed to get the jump on Brain, and Brain, I said it before in this match already, I said it before in this cast, he just completely miscalculated what he was capable of and what Byul was capable of. Sometimes even Brain makes these massive mistakes. That was a huge, huge blunder, which brings the score to 1 win for both of these players. Brain won game number 1, Byul wins game number 2. Which now means we're going to game number 3, which is going to be a PvP between these two players. Byul on the Protoss, Brain on the Protoss. This is truly a test of their skill, their individual skill. There's no advantages or disadvantages inherent to the race they play, because they're playing the exact same race. They're on equal footing. The only advantage that one of these players might have is the spawn location, which is slightly in favor of Brain here. It's a little bit easier to storm drop this middle location than it is to storm drop one of these corner locations. The distance from this base all the way to the side, which is right there, is longer than this section to the minerals. Also, another important detail to mention here, with this middle spawn location, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different angles of approach for a storm drop, which is pretty difficult to deal with, but there's also some advantages. The big advantage you have with these middle spawn locations is that you can send your probes to a larger area, a larger surface area, because the way that the nexus is positioned. If you're here on the top corner, you can send your probes to the gas, which is a pretty straight line, if I have to say. And if you then want to send it to another base to dodge a storm or a drop, they always have to take this path, like this diagonal path from the minerals or from the gas towards the choke point. But when you're on these middle spawn locations, you can send your probes to the top or the bottom and then towards the choke. It gives you more room, more freedom to dance around with your probes and to try and dodge a storm drop or a reaver. There's more freedom to dance around. That's the advantage that these middle spawn locations have over the corner spawns. But overall, I would still have to stay to my earlier claim. It is definitely easier to dodge, to deal with drops, like to snipe drop and intercept drops from a corner spawn. Now both players went for a Nexus first into gas, but Byul went for triple gateway and Brain went for gateway forge. And double gas there for Brain. Double gas for Brain. We have a cannon there for Brain as well. He has to, of course, get a cannon. If you go for a single gateway, you need the cannon to defend yourself. Whereas Byul, going for an early cybercore and triple gateway, does not need a forge to protect himself because he has the zealots, and after that, the dragoons to protect himself from any potential threats, like zealots or whatever else would be coming his way to kill his probes. He can defend himself against that specifically. And hey, hello there, folks. You might be wondering, why is the game paused all of a sudden after a short jump cut? Something came up, and I had to go take care of that. And now I'm trying to remember exactly where I was with the cast. Something came up, took about 40 minutes. So like there's a whole lot of time between where I was and where I am right now. So we have triple gateway there from Byul. We have a cybercore early. We got double gas, double nexus. We got double nexus there for Brain, double gas as well, and a cybercore very fast. And that is a Citadel of the Dune, and we do not have a robotics, which kind of makes me think he's going to go for probably Dark Templars. I'm not too sure what he's going to go for here. I've seen this kind of stuff a lot of times, and there's always a lot of options. It's robotics. This is a really weird placement of gateways, in my opinion. But he's probably trying to protect both those gateways against dragoons, so he left a little bit of space in between so he can build a cannon here to protect the gateways. I think that's what that is all about. We have the units there from Byul moving out to go and attack and do some harassment there on what Brain has going at the moment. He scouted the base there with that Zealot, I assume, went in and went out. We have a Robotics on the way in the bottom to go for Observers, and we have a Forge, go for level 1 attack, and probably 2 cannons. We got the Dragoons arriving on the scene to start taking down that Citadel of the Dune, which Brain at the moment cannot really protect. There's a cannon there on the way in between to try and protect the Citadel of the Dune. Going to try to buy some time for the cannon with the Zealots. The Zealots will die, of course, but they do get a little bit of damage on the Dragoons, which means that Byul's micro wasn't really as foolproof as it should have been. He really wants to kill that Citadel of the Dune. But it looks like Brain will buy just enough time to... No, it's gonna go down. Oh, he tried. He really tried to keep it alive, but couldn't keep it alive for long enough. We got more games on the way there on the top side. Support Bay finished up. Temple's Archive finished up, getting Storm. He's gonna go straight into drops. There's Observatory on the way there for Byul. Byul really wants to push his advantage with his army size. He's got a bigger army, he's got more supply, like 22 more supply. He's doing really well right here. But Brain does have the advantage of having a very fast Storm and a very fast Templar for a very fast Storm drop. As I assume Byul went for the shuttle before going for the Observers, which means that he's taking a little bit of damage in the front. His units have to pull back to the Nexus. As Triple Cannon finished at the moment for detection against the Dark Templar. He's getting a support base. Gonna go for a Reaver drop after he finishes his double Observer. Might hang one on the high ground there and use one to escort his units into Brain's base. That's what I think he's gonna try to do. Now Brain has his shuttle finishing up. Already finished up, going all the way across the map, all the way around to try and go for a drop over the bottom side, where Byul is getting double pylon to finish getting vision over his entire base. Shuttle there is going to hang on the high ground to spot and detect shuttles coming in, because he knows his shuttle is coming in, but he cannot at the moment hang an Observer on the high ground, because his Observer has to go on the top side, putting his Dragoons in between. There's nothing on the bottom there to protect, but he's moving a couple of the Dragoons to the bottom right now. Like, the goal of this game at the moment is for Brain to hit a Storm Drop, for Byul to defend the Storm Drop, and then go for a counter attack after he defends the Storm Drop. That's his plan at the moment, because his drop is slower than Brain's. So Brain has to throw the first punch. But Brain is waiting on the bottom. He's waiting for shuttle speed. Wait, actually, shuttle speed is already finished, I assume. No, there it is. Almost finished up. He's waiting for the shuttle speed. If he goes with the slow shuttle, it is way too easy for Byul's Dragoons to kill his shuttle. So drop from the top. No, actually, that's a pro. Never mind, that's a pro. Here's his shuttle. There's drop number 2. He might go for 2 drops at the same time. He's going to pick up some High Templars and some Zealots and fly them in. Level 1 attack is finished up for both players. No, wait, it's still on the way there for Byul. Still on the way for Byul. It's getting Zealot speed as well. Do we have Zealot speed there for Brain? We have Zealot speed for Brain. His supply is going up very quickly. His base looks... I wouldn't say it looks nice. It's kind of looking messy, but it has a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a goal. The cannons protecting the gateways, but also there to protect against shuttle drops. Like when the shuttle drops fly in, these cannons will do little bits of damage against the shuttle as it flies through. There's no vision on the high ground here though yet. No vision against the drops. Unlike Byul, who already has some vision on the high grounds there, both players are progressing as fast as they can, but they're not attacking just yet. At this point in the game, neither player wants to be the first to go for the attack and potentially lose too many units and be exposed and open to a counterattack, or be so distracted with the attack that a drop flies in and kills their probes. So they're both playing this very cautiously, very defensively. Drop on the top tries to go in, but there's some Dragoons in between, some cannons as well, has to turn around. Now he might try to go in from the bottom side, but that shell is still hanging there, and it's only a single Zealot. The Zealot might survive for long enough, it might immediately die to the 4 cannons, or if it unloads right there, to the Dragoons and the cannons. Actually, Byul is pulling all of his units from the bottom side to go for an attack. He's almost maxed out on supply. And so is Brain. Brain has a surround at the moment. But mostly a lot of cannons. Drop comes in. Oh, he's gonna try to... He's not focusing. Reaver unloads. Is pretty far away. Tries to shoot but doesn't kill anything. Drop for the bottom comes in, but it comes in too early because everything is still running away to safety. Here back at home in Brain's base, we have that army from Byul pushing pretty strongly. But units from Brain are now going for the counterattack on that army that Byul has here in this choke point. Storms are very hard hitting. Dragoons have to pull away back to the main base. Drop comes in over the bottom side. But allows High Templar. High Templar is pretty far away, but it hits the storm. Hits the money shot at the worst possible time possible. The worst possible time. His minerals were very low, and now he only has 25 probes. This game is in the hands of Brain at the moment. Brain is in a huge, massive lead. That Byul still has a pretty big army, so there's a chance that he can maybe push his advantage with an army attack, like an all-in push. That's his only chance. Drop comes in over the top side there from Brain. Byul just put all of his units back on the minerals. Reaver unloads. Reaver shoots his load. Reaver kills. Another 21 down to 6 probes. This game is now impossible to win for Byul unless he hits this drop really, really hard. Probes running his safety. Templars are loading. Probes are too far away. He doesn't have Storm yet. He's still researching Storm. He went in too early. It's still researching. Reavers are trying to push. He's using the Reavers to great effect, but Dragoon's coming in over the left side. Has to retreat down to the right side. Shill is too low to stay alive. Shill is too low to use from Micro. And Byul goes out unceremoniously. His one chance to still win the game was hitting a storm drop, and the Templars unloaded on location. Nothing there to stop him from storming except himself. The upgrade was not finished. It wasn't ready. It wasn't there. He couldn't use it yet. So now he's on 55 supply against triple. Against a supply triple his own. In Brain. Brain played this one very well. Sometimes it is not about attacking all the time. Sometimes it's about waiting for the right moment to attack. The right moment to strike. The shield on the bottom was hanging there for ages. On the top side, the exact same thing was hanging there for minutes until Byul attacked and pulled his units away. Brain smelled it in the air. This is my time to go. And he went and he won. Byul got demolished. His probe line could not survive, got absolutely destroyed in every single way. Let's do one more game because I spent so much time being away from my laptop that we might as well just throw another game in there. Let's see. Yep, we can do this one. This should be a good one as well. Another Brain against Byul, but this time around is no longer Protoss against Protoss. It's going back to the traditional Protoss against Terran. And we will see... Let me see. Brain back on Terran, Byul back on the Protoss. The exact same scenario from game number 1. Actually, no. Game number 1, we had Byul on the... Game number 2. Game number 2. The first game from this video was game number 2. And then the previous video was game number 1. So here we have Brain... excuse me, we got Byul on the Protoss, brown Protoss, bottom right of the map. Brain on the green Terran, top right of the map. We have a right side match. We probably won't see the left side used at all. Sometimes they do build a proxy base on the left side, but Byul is not really the person to build a proxy base anywhere. Most of the time he builds everything in his main base and then builds some stuff on the middle, and that's about it. He gets pylons on the sides for vision, but there's usually no big extra bases for Byul. Byul is the kind of player to just go and attack all the time when his main base is ready. He doesn't waste any of his actions on building extra proxy bases. He's not the kind of player to do that. Same for Brain. Focuses on using mostly his main base. Now he might be going for a double barracks again. This time around, Byul went for a Nexus first, so this time Brain shouldn't be dying to an early game strategy. Because there's no early game strategy, this time around, Brain's build order will definitely not backfire. And that's actually one of the main ways I've seen Brain lose games is Terran. His Terran is very strong, but he really is the kind of player to push his luck a little bit too far and try to play a game with the absolute minimum possible. The least possible. He wants to be as efficient as he possibly can and rely on his micro, and sometimes that just is not meant to be. Sometimes that is just not meant to be. Byul went for Nexus triple gateway into an assimilator in the back. We'll see a cyber core very soon as well, but first a little bit of zealot production from the triple gateway. Brain is scouting the map, he's scouting the top, scouting the side, scouting the bottom. Probe there from Byul knows that Brain is probably on the top or the top right, based off of where the Marine came from. We have a double barracks still, we have an academy on the way, got a gas, got a command center as well, so we got everything in pairs of 2 here for Brain. And Byul here, pairs of 3. Cyber Quarter on the way on the top, he's mining gas already. Marine makes his way in and sees everything that's happening, which is kind of useful if you know that the Protons went for a triple gateway. That is pretty big information, because then you can easily deduce and conclude that, yeah, there are probably gonna be some zealots on the way to hurt you back at home. Now he's going for a forge. We do not see a spinning cyber core, so probably not gonna be Dragoons, otherwise we would already see the spinning. Instead he goes for a robotics in the front. There's no choke in the front there yet. He's going to try to rely on the zealots to buy him time, as much time as possible, to delay the cannons in the front and then build the cannons in the front when he actually needs them. So no spending 150 or 300 minerals on an early choke, because he doesn't need the early choke yet. He doesn't need it yet. At the moment he should be fine with the zealots out on the map. Cannon on the way there though. He got the robotics first and the cannon. Is he going to go for a Citadel or a second Robo, or for a Citadel and a second Robo? That's something I want to know. Currently still on double gas, no cannons in the back, and Brain is on 24 SCVs now, double gas, getting his engineering bay there for upgrade level 1. Maybe he's not going to get level 1 attack upgrade for the Marines at all. That's also a possibility. Byul notices that he can actually just walk right on in there because there's not much in the front. Brain has been skipping out on producing Marines for far too long, far too often. And now the Zealots get into the base and they will kill some Marines, and more Zealots make their way through. This is actually a pretty good observation from Byul. Byul noticed that, hey, wait a second, something is not right here. I'm just gonna go and try to get in there and maybe kill some stuff. And guess what? This is quite a good amount of disruption that Byul is now inflicting onto Brain. This is, I would say this puts Byul into a slight lead over Brain. He's taking away some of the advantage of that very early double command center that Brain went for. But Brain's micro is yet again pretty damn good. Loses the least amount of Marines, but he did lose a couple medics, a couple Marines to start, and I think he lost 1 or 2 SCVs in that entire exchange. His front door is still very sparsely protected, whereas Byul now has still no cannons in the back, because he saw the timing of the startboard in Brain's base. He saw the timing of that startboard. Now Brain just scanned Byul's base, and maybe we can still see, oh, wrong click. He scanned the front, sees a double Robo there in the front, sees a shuttle finished up, so 2 Reavers are on the way. We have a Citadel on the bottom, not getting an upgrade, he's getting shuttle speed. He's producing Dragoons now, getting Dragoon range as well. He might use Dragoons for an attack, might use them for anti-tank drop defense. Not really sure yet. I think he's going to try to use them for an attack. He will have 3 Dragoons, 5 Zealots, and 2 Reavers to go for a frontal push, but we also already have 2 tanks in the front and a bunker filled with our 4 Marines, whereas the other Marines are in the back. I would say this is a bare bones defense for Brain at the moment. He's going for a raid though, and raids are really efficient against shuttles. So the raid is finished up. The Reaver is gonna go in over the side while the tank... Oh no, the timing is completely wrong from Byul there. The timing from Byul was completely wrong. So what do you have to do right there? When the Zealots walk in, the tanks shoot on the Zealots, and then you unload the Reavers to get a double shot off on the tanks. But Brain noticed that, and before the tanks would shoot on the Zealots, he targeted the Reavers manually with the tanks and killed the Reavers quite quickly, and the Marines came down from the top there. So that was a really good microplay that you wouldn't immediately notice if you didn't know what was happening. But Byul mis-microed that attack. If he waited for the tanks to shoot on the Zealots and then immediately unloaded and shot on the tanks with the Reavers, he would have maybe even won the game right there. But he completely messed it up. That was a huge mistake, which gives Brain so much time to just build up and get stronger and bigger that Byul does not want Brain to have. Because Brain is, as I said before, the one player who tries to squeeze the most advantage out of the least amount of possible units. He defends on almost no units at all. He relies on micro and awareness more than any other player does. More than any other player. He tries to maximize what he has. Sometimes he dies as a result, as we've seen before. Sometimes he dies as a result because there's no maximizing when you simply have too few units. When everything works out like this, it gets you ahead really quickly. His supply is greater than Byul's, and when a Terran supply is greater than a Protoss supply, this early into the game, you know that the Terran is doing something very well, or the Protoss is doing something very wrong. But in the case of it being Byul, he is doing something very right. So 5 gas there from Byul. He needs a couple more cannons against tank drops. We have raids flying all over the place looking for shuttles, but Byul actually surprisingly is taking a lot of time to go for his second drop. Taking a lot of time just sitting back here at home, building up his base, getting stargates, getting gateways, getting upgrades, getting more technology structures. He's really taking his sweet time before he goes for an attack. And Brain is using this moment in time to put his raids into very good positions to spot shuttles flying in. He's putting mines in the middle to explode on Zealots and Dragoon, but also give him vision. Mines give a lot of vision. That is the main purpose of those mines. He wants to know exactly what is happening on the map. The Dark Temples are moving out. The Dark Temples are largely there to take down structures or units sitting on the sides, as long as they're ground units. Just there to help out. He has one Marine there all over on the left side, so that he can run his SCVs to safety on this gas. And yeah, he's going for Corsairs now. He's got 4 robots in the front. He's on 77 probes. Brain is on 67 SCVs. He's now getting more factories. He's got 7 finished up, and 2 more on the way for a total of 9. And he's getting his last 2 armories as well. Yeah, Brain has progressed really nicely, and I'm a little bit surprised that Byul played this game as passively as he did. Wasn't expecting him to play this passively. Byul wants to go for a one-hit, one-kill attack. But as we can see, well, actually, Brain scanned... Not sure what Brain scanned, honestly. Did he scan the middle to get the Dark Templar? I think he scanned the middle to get the Dark Templar, because the Dark Templar is gone, and earlier there was a Dark Templar right here on the middle. So once again, Vulture's moving out to put more mines on the map, kill some Vultures, drop comes out. Wait, that's the Corsairs. The drop is still here back on the middle. He's going to try to avoid the vision from the mines and the vision there on the side by flying over the hills here, right next to the middle. But he flies into the middle and gets spotted by the mines. The Vultures are fighting against... The Raids are fighting the Corsairs. Drop there on the top. There's nothing in between. Looks like Byul just managed to trick Brain into feeling safe. There's a lot of tanks. They're back at the command center though. Bunkers as well. Bunkers are stimming. He's unloading. He's missing all the SCVs with his large storms. Reaver is killing most of the tanks there though, but ultimately, I think that was very well played by Brain. Managed to pull most of his SCVs to safety. Went down from 75 to 62, which is an acceptable loss, given how much supply Byul used on that drop. The bunkers were huge. The bunkers helped him out so much. And stimming the Marines into the bunkers gives him so much extra damage. If you just have the Marines in the bunker, the damage is not that high. that if you stim them and then put them into the bunker, the damage is huge, massive. It gives such a huge defensive boost. So right now on 9 factories, 4 starports, has a great anti-air, anti-drop defense set up here in the skies. The mill is still all mined up. He's tried to build cannons right here, but Brain pretty much put a stop to that one. Another big Corsair ball flying out to hit those raids. We got shuttles there in the back, right behind the Corsairs. He's waiting for the observers to arrive on the scene. Going to push back the division. He flies in. Raids are going to get detected at some point. No, the observers are too far in the back. Actually, the shuttles do a low, but it's all zealots. Looks like the one shuttle with something that could kill SCVs inside died first. Now the raids have been taken down because the observers are in the base. The Valkyries die as well. The Corps is doing a great job, and the zealots actually take down most of the tanks, a couple of Marines, but the bunkers are keeping the rest of the Marines alive. This goes to show how important those bunkers next to the command center can be in helping to defend and to minimize the damage from those shuttle drops. Huge advantage. But now the front door attack here from Byul. There's not that much in the front, but the mines are cleaning out those zealots quite easily. He's on 2 armor, 1 shield, no attack upgrades. The attack upgrades are still on the way. Where's the attack upgrade? They're on the bottom. He's got double cyber core as well for both of the air upgrades. Currently his air upgrades are on 1-1, so he's probably planning on going for carriers at some point. He's adding on more stargates and he's prioritizing those air upgrades. Now in the middle there, once again, Zell's getting taken down by the vultures. There's still no functional wall there in the front from Brain, and Brain is using his scan to determine what to do. He's got no tanks in his base at all, not a single tank in his base. It's all Goliaths and Valkyries, and he takes in all the shuttles with great target firing. But he stormed the Goliaths to Kingdom Come, and they're trying to micro the safety. Zealots are on the chase. Actually, if he went for a large Dragoon attack right now, he could maybe break through and do some lethal damage, but tanks are now on the way. But will that be enough? The Valkyries are going in to take down the shuttles there in the front. See, they're hanging there on the mill. Front door stays secure for now. The tanks are spawning. He's adding on another factory for factory number 10. Yeah, Brain is really playing his with the least possible, but it's working out because his scanning has been so good. He really has been using the scans to just find out, what is Byul doing, what do I need? And if Byul doesn't go for a large front door attack like this, then Brain doesn't need large or big amounts of frontal defense. One lonely shell there going in. Vultures once again entering the middle to place mines everywhere. Cells are running in to that choke point. There's a lot of mines in between, but only 2 tanks in the front. Other 2 tanks are in the back, sieging up. You got 3 Goliaths. If Byul had an observer here right now, this would be a lot easier to break into, but this is going to be on a knife's edge. This is going to be extremely close because the tanks are finishing just on time. The tanks are finishing just on time. If the tanks finish like 5 seconds later, these Dragoons would probably have killed the 3 tanks in the back, and then the other tank would spawn as the Dragoons and Zealots are in between the factories, and Brain would die. This is extremely close. A very close call, much closer than you would probably assume. I mean, there's 3 tanks, 3 vultures, and units keep streaming in over the front door. Very close. And the Valkyries are still hanging there on the side. He's going for carriers. I think that's no observers. That's Corsairs. Going for Corsairs to push those Valkyries into the Shadow Zone to kill them. This is gonna work. There's more tanks now. He's building more tanks. He's realizing that he cannot rely on Valkyries as much as he was. He also has 94 SCVs, which is about 20 above the mark where you want to be. You want to be on like 74. He's on 94. Going to be pretty difficult to have an army that can match Byul's army. But the raids are doing their job well, taking out the shuttles. The Rios did a low, but the Rios a lot way too early. Storms on the SCVs, kills a lot of them. Very good storms, but maybe a little bit too late into the game because on 5,000 minerals with 4 command centers, he can easily recover his SCV count. Easily. And this might actually help him out a little bit more than you might assume. A little bit more than you might be thinking. So, he was on 94 SCVs, which is way too many. But now he could be ending up at about 65 or 70 after he finishes completing all of his SCVs, which would give him a bigger army to fight back against Byul. And Byul's at 81 probes. He might have to kill, I'd say, 10 probes at some point, but at the moment he's spending his minerals so quickly that his mineral bank never quite grows too big. Drop over the bottom, goes in, looking for the raids to kill. The raids have cloak, so that's not really going to work out as he had in mind. But yeah, Brain is recovering. His minerals are now dropping kind of dangerously low, so if a drop were to come in from Byul and hit those SCVs right about now, Brain would probably lose the game. But if Brain can prevent drops from hitting him from this point onwards, he will be fine. He will be fine. He will be completely fine. Even though his minerals are very low. He's building somewhat of a wall there in the front with armories? He's putting armories in the front? Oh, sure, whatever. If you want to build armories, sure. I'd say build some supply depots, but armories do have a little bit more HP, so perhaps the armories are a better choice than the supply depots. Supply depots got 500, armories got 750. That's a slightly stronger wall than usual. So the Chorus is coming in yet again with some observers and some shuttles to try and take down the anti-drop, but the shuttles and the Corsairs are so... he goes in almost all the way. Everything gets taken down just before it can unload next to the SCVs. So Brain prevents a very dangerous drop from hitting him. Although I must say as well that Byul didn't have the cleanest timing on that shuttle drop. Like, everything was just a little bit mismatched. The Corsairs and the observers went in at different timings, which means that the raids could do a lot of damage to the Corsairs and the shuttles before they actually, you know, could fight back against the raids. So now we have a pretty strong wall on the front. Byul's Brain supply is fine. Now he's still only on 10 factories, but 10 factories could and should be enough. A couple of raids are hanging on the sides, waiting to take down the carriers. There's only a single cannon. There's observers arriving on the scene, but carriers need interceptors to fight back against the raids, so the raids are waiting for their moment to strike. We've got 10 carriers on the way. Byul is adding cannons on the side to protect his carriers. So he noticed his weakness. He noticed the weakness of having his carriers exposed without cannons. He's gonna have to fight back on the middle first there though, because Brain feels that at the moment he has the freedom to once again enter the middle with some tanks and vultures. Really good vulture control, really good use of the mines as well. He's really using the mines very, very well. He's gonna get some Templars, some Zealots. He cleaned up the middle for the most part. The carriers are finishing up. There's 10 of them on the map. He might go for 11, so he needs one more. I think he's gonna go for 10. I think he's gonna go for 10. And then he's gonna go for 10 Corsairs. He has 7 observers to detect those raids. So Byul has given up on the Gateway Army front door attacks, and now it's time to go for the carrier play. And I feel that Brain just changed his mind. Brain wanted to go for a large tank drop somewhere. Like maybe unload right there, hit the probes. He's gonna have to fly all the way around. Kind of wondering how he can arrive here. Like there's a lot of cannons in between. You can go over here, unload a tank right there, and then unload the remaining tanks right here. I think that is what he's gonna do, because this bottom corner not gonna work. This path not gonna work. The only path in is over here. But we have a fight happening on the bottom side of Brain's base as his dropships are on the way to Byul's main base. It's difficult to pronounce Byul or Brain when both their names start with a B. It's difficult. Trust me, it's difficult. When I try to say Brain, I say Byul, but I mean Brain. It's confusing the hell out of me. I wish they had names that didn't start with a B. Of course, it's coming in to push down those Valkyries. Drop over the bottom side there from Brain. That's a lot of cannons there, though. That might not be work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna unload right there on his bottom corner. Starts a load. Okay, not the bottom corner. Tank sieging up. Probes not running to safety. Kills the probes. Gonna try to kill the Nexus as well, or just kill whatever he can. Carriers there from Byul, though, are pushing forward very well. Byul is down to 21 probes. But he killed all of the Valkyries, his courses, and the Observers did their job. Carries are going in. Is Byul gonna win this one? I'm not too sure. He attacks the command center. No, 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 don't attack the command center. Attack the ground units. Don't attack the command center. You're gonna lose your carriers. You should have attacked the Goliaths and then the command center. I think that would have been a better choice. Reavers unload. And they kill the SCVs. Okay, maybe I was wrong. That was a beautiful move there from Byul. He's dealing a really, really strong blow right to Brain's economy. He's taking down the entire economy. He's destroying him in every single way. Absolutely destroying him. His tanks are rolling through, though. He wants to kill those probes yet again. He's just ignoring everything else. Siege is up. A little bit too far away. Has to kill that cannon. He's... Oh, yeah. Brain can no longer win. Brain just wants to kill the Nexus. He wants to kill the Nexus, but Byul at this point is unkillable. Look at the supply difference. Look at the supply difference. Actually, you know, I'm gonna have to check and see who won game number 1, because maybe my memory is completely wrong. I thought Brain won number 1. But the score is 2 wins for Byul after this game, because Byul cannot lose this game. Byul can only win this one. So let me at the end just very quickly check who won game number 1. Because if I'm wrong, then the score is 2 wins for both, which means we don't have a winner for the series. So the carriers go down, drop comes in yet again, Reaver's on the scene. Reaver's gonna kill all of the Goliaths. There's too many Reavers. There's no command centers either. He's building a new one here on the bottom corner. Most of the SCVs are here on the bottom side. On the bottom left, by the way. The side that I said would never be used by anyone, but guess what? Brain is there. Brain is trying to hold on, but this is not going to work. Byul has destroyed him. Storms on the tanks. Tanks go down. Dark Templars on the scene. There's no scan around. No vessels to be seen anywhere. There's turrets on the side, but he doesn't care about the turrets at all. Brain is just being stubborn at the moment. At the moment, Brain is being stubborn. The game is over. You've lost. You have been destroyed. You have been shown every single corner of the ring. It's time to leave. It's time to leave, Brain. So we have Byul scanning the entire map. He saw the SCVs leave and never saw them return back home, which means that they have to be somewhere on the map. Where though? Where? Right there, but he doesn't yet know. He's building a comset station to detect the Dark Templars when they will be on the way. But he flies in with the Corsairs and finds the base, which means that now Byul can send over his units and finish this off once and for all. Another set of carriers has arrived to finish down the main base. 9 carriers on the scene. Main base is under attack, under siege. We have 46 probes from Byul there on the minerals. Not a lot of them. And a couple of them are on the gas. Drop arrives on the bottom corner though. What's going to be inside? A zealot, not a zealot, a bunch of zealots. No, yeah, there's a High Templar ready to storm, ready to kill, ready to end the game once and for all. Calls GG, doesn't even storm, just calls GG. Brain loses, which means now I'm going to have to check who won game number 1. But first, let me find a thumbnail real quick. We did a thumbnail right here. Just find a really beautiful one. You know what? Let's do this. Couple more units unloading. This is a nice thumbnail. That's the one we're going to use for the thumbnail. And now we're gonna look for who won game number 1. Let me just really quickly check who won game number 1, because I feel like I'm very wrong about who won game number 1, because the score is even, and the score should not be even, but it is even. Who won game number 1? If I remember correctly, Brain played game number 1 with very strong drops. Let me just really quickly check the end. Yep, Brain won game number 1. Brain won game number 1. So we end the series with 2 wins for both players, which feels very weird because I was expecting this to be like a best of 5. but it's a best of 4, which makes no sense. It looks like they just ran out of time. Because Brain has a very strict streaming schedule. It was at the end of the stream, so there was no game number 5. I think that's what happened. We don't really have a winner here. We just have 2 wins for both. So yeah, I'm RGB. I'm going to be signing out. I'll be making another video very soon, and I'll be uploading it very, very soon. And hope to see you return. Hope you enjoyed this one. These 3 games from today. Leave a comment, a like, or a subscribe. Leave your thoughts. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you're going through. Just anything in the comments. I'll respond, or try to respond, as long as the comment makes sense. See you next time.